Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming to our Mohawk Valley Regional Advisory Committee meeting for Advanced to Apprenticeship. Just one second while I share my screen. Okay. Can everyone see the presentation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Pat, did you want to kick everything off?
I can, yes. I gotta go into my participant list to make it easier to ask people to say hi. So you've met Colleen Blagg, and I am Pat Dowse. And if this is your first phone call meeting with us, welcome. If I'm just going to kind of run down the list and invite people to say hello so that everybody knows who you are and where you're from, because we only get to see each other every 3 months, give or take, unless you're doing other cool stuff in the Mohawk Valley, which I know you all are, but Colleen and I need to be refreshed too. So Brianne, you want to say hi and introduce yourself, please?
Hi, everyone. I am Brianne Noble. I am the case manager for the Radar Grant Program through Working Solutions under Summer Edwards.
Welcome. And my colleague, Brandy from Rochester.
Good morning, everybody. I am Brandy Solomon from the University of Rochester Strong Center for Developmental Disabilities. And thank you all for being here today.
Mr. Hartwick.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chad Hartwig. I'm the Executive Director of Business Enterprises with the Arco-Nida Lewis, where we have 3 social enterprises, 1 Progress Industries, the 2nd Chefs Express, and a 3rd Nickelback.
Nickelback sounds like a show, a concert. Anyway, I'm teasing you. Michelle Jordan, please say hi.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Jordan. I am the Vocational and Employment Liaison for Region 2 for OPWDD.
Which everybody knows what that is. Okay. Suzanne.
Good morning, everyone. Suzanne Pearson. I am the Associate for our Statewide Transition and Youth Services Unit for Access VR Central Office. Thanks. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Miss Sylvia.
My name is Sylvia. I'm the Assistant Director of Employment with Kelberman.
Oh, cool. Okay. This is your first meeting, yes?
Yes.
Yes, I thought so. Okay. And then I apologize, on my list, I just have L. Fay, and I'm forgetting who that is. So I apologize. So if you would introduce yourself.
Lindsay.
Good morning. That's me, Lindsay Fay. I am
she's the star. Okay. Hi, Lindsay. She's our newest
Hi.
team member. So perfect that you joined last. Yay.
Yes, I am a brand new workforce development specialist with MACNY, specifically focusing on the Real Life Rosies and A2A program. So I'm super excited to be here.
Yay. Yes, and we are excited to have you here, dear. And not how poetic that happened that way. Yay. Okay, Colleen, back to you, friend.
All right. Okay, so I can get this to work. I just want to start off by acknowledging our partners for this program. So Working Solutions, Mohawk Valley Community College, and the Council on Developmental Disabilities, as well as the University of Rochester, Strong Center for Developmental Disabilities have helped us to take this program from a pilot phase to now actually being able to fully fund it for the first time ever. So I just want to say thank you. And you know, we're in a transition period. So the University of Rochester really was the lead organization until very recently on this program and on the grant. We're now transitioning Advanced to Apprenticeship into a grant that MACNY has through the Empire State Development OS. I always do this acronym wrong, Office of Strategic Workforce Development.
There you go.
So
you got it.
I'm sure several of you are familiar with our Real Life Rosies program, but we are now utilizing the same funding source that we use for Rosies for this program. So, you know, it's been a little bit difficult in the beginning because it was in a pilot phase. We didn't really have a lot of funding to be able to provide all the case management, for instance, and program coordination that was needed. So Brandy really did a fantastic job from Rochester, which is really tough to do, I personally think. But again, now we're finally able to fund the program the way that it needs to be funded in order to be successful. So MACNY is now taking it over in the Mohawk Valley region. So I know a lot of you are not familiar with MACNY, so we're just going to do a little bit of a review of who we are. Think for those of you who have questions. I know Chad is a member of MACNY, so he should be pretty familiar. But for those who don't, we are a trade association. So for manufacturers, so mainly industrial companies in the central New York and Mohawk Valley region, we do cover over 20 counties though. We've got a wide range of services. One of them that's growing is workforce development. Many of our member companies are struggling to find qualified tradespeople to fill open production roles. So we started a few workforce development programs in 2016. But we have a reach all across the state. So MACNY covers the central New York and Mohawk Valley region. And then we also have a statewide alliance that I'm sure lots of you guys are aware of, but for those who aren't, our Manufacturers Alliance covers the entire state of New York. And MACNY is a lead organization for the Manufacturers Alliance of New York. So we do a lot of workforce development. We have our Manufacturers Alliance Intermediary Apprenticeship Program that spans the entire state. And we also do some advocacy work at the state and federal level. So MACNY started a registered apprenticeship program in 2016. And we are group sponsors of registered apprenticeship for manufacturing trades. So I know everyone thinks they know what an apprenticeship is. I thought I knew what an apprenticeship was when I first started working at MACNY, but I did not know the ins and outs of apprenticeship until I really dug into it. So I just want to cover like the 6 core components. And this is important because for Advanced to Apprenticeship, the goal for participants is to enter into a registered apprenticeship program following the conclusion of their training. So the first component of registered apprenticeship is business involvement. So you have to register your program with the state. MACNY provides that service for our, sorry, I just got someone entering. So we've got someone here. For our member companies and others in the region who want to start apprenticeship programs, but just don't have that capacity internally to be able to do all the administrative paperwork involved. And you also, if you are an apprentice, you have to have an employment relationship with a company. So it's not a volunteer or internship. It is a job first. So you are paid full-time, typically wages throughout your apprenticeship. You also are required to have related technical instruction. Related technical instruction is typically classroom instruction. So you can go to MVCC, for instance, for on-the-job training. You can do online learning platforms. There's lots of different methods of getting this related technical instruction, but that is one of the components. So it's usually equates to about one class, like 3 or 4 credit class per semester in order to meet the requirements for the apprenticeship. The related technical instruction is also based on the trade outline. So you're not just taking like random classes, college classes, it's related to your trade. We also have structured on-the-job training as a component. So that's the meat of the apprenticeship is on-the-job training. So you are working full-time and you have a mentor on the job who's teaching you the skills that you need per your trade outline. You are also earning rewards for skill gains. So you are able to receive raises throughout the length of your apprenticeship. That's one of the great things is it's built in. So you don't really have to ask for a raise. I know a lot of people really hate doing that. So that's kind of nice that it's just already built into your apprenticeship program. And in order to have an apprenticeship program, you must provide at least one raise throughout the length of the program. apprentices earn a national occupational credential that is recognized across the United States. So it's not just like, a certificate your employer prints out and gives to you. It's like a real, you get a card from the New York State Department of Labor and, a nice certificate from the Department of Labor. It's very official. And again, it's portable. So if you choose to, move from New York State, which we hope that our journey workers don't, but if you choose to do that, those credentials are recognized across America. And I'm used to it being 5 components, but the 6th is that dedicated mentor on the job. So that's a really important component of the program. It's structured on the job training with someone who's kind of supervising and teaching you those skills. Any questions so far? I know a lot of this is familiar to a lot of you, but for those who it's not familiar, just gonna go over it.
About how long is the apprenticeship for?
That's a really great question. So there are lots of different trades, and it really is dependent on the trade. For advanced manufacturing, we are encouraging our signatory companies, so companies who offer apprenticeship, to start with the industrial manufacturing technique. That is the shortest trade. So it's 16 months, and it could be shortened to 12 months if someone has some prior experience. So you can be awarded prior experience credit and go through your apprenticeship within 1 year. And that is a stackable program into some of the lengthier apprenticeships. So if you want to become a welder, for instance, or a CNC machinist, those are typically, some are correct me if I'm wrong, 4-year trades. So it just depends on which trade you choose, but we do like to start with the IMT trade because it does stack into those other trades. So instead of spending 4 years in a welding trade, you can have prior experience credit awarded through that IMT program, and also the related technical instruction stacks into the welding trade too. So instead of spending 4 years, you're spending less than 3 years in that trade, if that makes sense.
It does, thank you.
Sure. Okay, so statewide, our program, we currently have about 900 apprentices and 200 signatory companies, and we offer 24 trades. That's through our statewide alliance, which you can see at the bottom of the screen. We've got RTMA in Rochester, BNMA in Buffalo, MAST in the southern, I guess it's southern tier, Jamestown area. We are looking to onboard someone in Binghamton. We've got the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce, Ignite Long Island, the Council of Industry in the Hudson Valley, and the Center for Economic Growth in Albany. So with all of those organizations making up our alliance, we are able to offer registered apprenticeships statewide. And this is becoming important because we are applying to bring our pre-apprenticeship program statewide as well. So it will also be housed with those organizations statewide. So Advanced to Apprenticeship is coming to Buffalo. It's coming to Rochester, all of those areas in the near future. So we're really excited about that. Let's see. These are some of the programs that are approved. So anything from a brewer distiller, which is something that Albany does a lot. We haven't had so many of those here. We do have a registered apprenticeship program with Saranac and Budweiser, but they are using the IMT technician, or the IMT trade, excuse me. So you could be an industrial truck mechanic, a tool maker, welder. We even have some kind of non-manufacturing trades. So we do software developer. We're adding HR and marketing to our list as well, just because those are, a lot of those trades are utilized by manufacturers, even if it's not on the production floor.
And Colleen, that's a really important point for our advisors for this project, because perhaps somebody that you may be thinking about may not present to you as having the technical skills that you think might be necessary, but introducing them to the business that is manufacturing in any of these areas offers, I mean, they're big companies. They have other kinds of jobs. So being able to understand how a manufacturing company works and the ins and outs of all the different opportunities is what, on the rehab side of things, we've been doing for years. So it's exciting to have a new industry value a diverse workforce the way manufacturing is now doing that.
Thanks, Pat. So we started our apprenticeship program first. A lot of people think of it in a linear way. So, you go through pre-apprenticeship and then a registered apprenticeship. But for us, we had to develop apprenticeship programs in order to be able to offer pre-apprenticeship programs, because we want people to have the ability to access jobs at the end of the training. So our pre-apprenticeship programs are relatively new. We started with Real Life Rosies in the Mohawk Valley in 2023. And that program is funded through the Empire State Development's Office of Strategic Workforce Development. We also braid funds with Summer's program and Brianne's program at Working Solutions. And Mohawk Valley Community College also provides some funding for the Real Life Rosies program. We'd been working with University of Rochester on Advanced to Apprenticeship. And although we had been working on that project for a lot longer, it kind of had a little bit of a slower start again due to funding. So we piloted the program. We've gone through 3 iterations of it. 2 iterations completed, and we are in our 3rd right now. At Mohawk Valley Community College, and this will be the first time we've been able to provide case management support. It's really just been, a combination of me and Brandy and Pat trying to, keep all the pieces together, just with the pilot funding. So we're really excited to be able to actually
have Lindsay
appropriately. Yes. So that's a really great point. So Lindsay is brand new to MACNY, and she's onboarding right now to be able to work in the pre-apprenticeship space. And her main role in pre-apprenticeship is going to be the Advanced to Apprenticeship program. So we're really excited for her to be able to take on this project and to be able to provide the one-on-one support that our participants need to get jobs.
So would it be fair to say, Colleen, that would you rather Lindsay reaches out to our advisors and I can share their contact information, or would you want everybody that's on the call today to just reach out to you? How best? I know you're being onboarded in the MACNY way, like any employer would do. What's the best way for me to help you get to know our advisors?
To be super honest, I'm open to anything. I do find great value in meeting in person, getting to shake someone's hand. I think sometimes, we get trapped behind the computer screen, so I'd absolutely love, and I know schedules get tight, especially wrapping up the end of the year, but if anyone had any time and wanted me to stop by, more than happy to. Otherwise, an email is just fine, but I'd love to see everyone's smiling faces.
Okay, then I will, at the end of the meeting, pull together everybody's contact information and even give you a little scoop on people if I can, so that you have some background, and then they'll have fun getting to meet you and learning about your skills and expertise, because you certainly have tons, and we're excited that you've joined the team. Thank you, dear.
Oh, I'm blushing. Thank you.
So Lindsay's got some really great experience. She's worked for Working Solutions in the past, doing re-entry, and also working with, I want to say, out of school youth, but I could be wrong.
Yes. Yep.
And out of school youth. And then she just moved back from Buffalo, where she was working in a recruiting capacity for advanced manufacturing. So she's got a lot of really great diverse experience. So really excited to have her. Okay, and I guess I don't want to leave out Yawa. I'm not sure if everyone knows Yawa. She's the lead for our Real Life Rosies program in the Mohawk Valley, but she also does help out with Advanced to Apprenticeship.
She has, and she's been instrumental. Without her, a lot of the events that we've tried to pull off wouldn't have happened, along with the contacts that have been made with the businesses. So thank you, Yawa, from me at least.
Thank you.
So before I hand it off to Yawa and Lindsay, I do want to say that we did make some changes to the program for this iteration and moving forward. Now that we've got some additional funding, we're able to offer the Certified Manufacturing Associate credential to the participants. So they'll be going through that course. And if they pass the certification exam, they'll have that certificate. And we will also be able to offer the same incentives and wraparound supports that we've previously offered just to the Rosies program. We're now able to offer to our advanced to apprenticeship students.
Yeah.
All right.
It's been a really good group of participants this time around. We started with 10 people, but we're now at 8. And we are just about at the end of the class. The last day is December 12th. So they've already been on 3 tours, and we are scheduled to have their first interview session today with Square One and Giotto. And Lindsay will also be screening the participants to kind of give them some pointers on how to best be ready for these interviews that they'll be going on in the future, and hopefully getting full-time positions. The next week we'll have another set of interviews as well. So they will be getting about 6 different interviews with 6 different companies for full-time positions. So we have, I think, working with these participants and breaking down the incentives has really worked. We started that a couple of cohorts ago, where they know that if they are active and participating in the class, that they will get an incentive. When they've earned their CMFGA, they'll also get an incentive. And when they've earned a full-time employment, they will get the biggest incentive as well. And it's been working so far. It's motivated them to, complete the course and pass the exams. And a lot of people do utilize the supportive services, like transportation has been the biggest one, as well as childcare. And we've also given out laptops to participants who don't have technology at home. And so that's been really helpful.
Yawa, can I ask you a question? And maybe it's just related to the cohort right now, but in the past, I've been part of programs where, especially through social services, where incentives like money incentives like this, and I'm guessing it's not a gift card or something, it's actual cash, or maybe it is a gift card, but the money itself creates a dilemma with social services benefits. Have any of our students experienced any of that? And is that something that we need to think about as we move forward in regards to how incentives are offered to make sure that people don't turn away because they're fearful of losing their SNAP or losing a housing subsidy or something? I know we have the 6-month look behind in our state at this point in regards to that, but just wondered whether or not you could share, because I'm thinking about it. I don't know if anybody else on our advisory group is thinking that way too.
No, that's a really good question. It is part of our vetting process, where if we are aware that they are on certain benefits, that we do provide benefits counseling, which is part of the resource coordinators role, that they come in and they, whether it be physical disability that they're on or Social Security or whatever other benefits that they're earning, that we provide them the right resources that they need, that they can still work and still receive their benefits. And if they have to tailor their jobs or schedules to be able to get both, then we help them with that as well. With the incentives, we explain it to them that this is a gift, so it's not something that is taxed, so they can we even had a financial literacy session where they came and explained to them and how to properly receive these incentives and go about it the right way. Yeah.
I had every confidence. I just figured you could brag a little bit about how you've been able to add all of that to the component. Thank you, Yawa. Did anybody else have any questions about that?
I do want to interject really quickly. and it's like just to call shout out Working Solutions because it's their disability resource coordinator. And they do help a lot with the incentives and everything too. So
Mhm.
Summer, if you have any thoughts or want to chime in on the benefits piece of it with the incentives, because I know you guys probably have those kinds of conversations.
Yeah, so we do have a disability resource coordinator on staff. We had been working with Nicole Sortino for the past couple of years, and she was absolutely amazing, but she has recently left us. So we have a new disability resource coordinator. His name is Fritz, and he's currently going through the certification process and just kind of learning a little bit more about his role. So we're kind of in a little bit of a limbo period, but he's catching on really quickly, and Nicole has still been available to answer any questions he has. But for any of those who have specific questions regarding their benefits, or just kind of what the transition might be like from receiving benefits to going back to work, and making sure that they still have the appropriate accommodations to be successful, that's what our disability resource coordinator is there for. And they've really been able to help all of our clients who have kind of faced some of those roadblocks, and a lot of them have become very successful in employment because of that.
I think what also is really cool is while that happens in the beginning, in the middle, and at the end, Working Solutions is also still there after someone finishes our program and can go back and work with them. So it isn't just when they're a student in the class. Working Solutions and their team is available to every one of our students post our programs too, which is kind of, I mean, people just don't know that sometimes. So I'm reinforcing that with all of you as well, that they're there.
I did hear about a pretty neat trick because we did expand into Oswego and Onondaga counties recently for at least real life Rosies. In Oswego, because we are in the position of, you know, kind of being at the end of the year, we're splitting the incentive payments into December and January. So it's going to be under the $599 limit for taxes, which is kind of nice. So I think that's something we need to start doing in the Mohawk Valley, maybe.
But that's what I'm talking. That's the tricks. I mean, all of us have to figure it out. Otherwise, because our the individuals themselves, they know that stuff. They'll figure that stuff out, and then it won't be an incentive. So kudos to you guys. Good job.
So I do kind of want to hear from the audience if anyone's got any additional tips or if they've heard of some of their clients having issues because of payments like these. We do want to hear about it.
Well, I'm intrigued. I'm going to point out to maybe our colleague from Kelberman, if someone's living in a certified residence under the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities, and they're given these incentive funds, how does that work? How does that work? Can that money just go into a bank account?
I would think it would. So that's more of like a care manager standpoint when it comes to their benefits and whatnot. But it would just be like getting paid for a regular job. I guess you could kind of look at it as a bonus, but I'm not 100% sure because I don't really do the whole benefits situation.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'll see if we can figure some of that out. Maybe that's something we can even bring to the table for all of you that work with OPWDD. I know I'm going to be involved in a call next week with the Office of Mental Health is also presenting. They have a brand new employment plan that they're rolling out for 2025. And I haven't said much more than that, just it's an employment plan. So when I learn more about what it is they're aspiring to have happen for individuals, I will bring it to the next advisory meeting, Colleen, so that we can keep on top of that with Yawa, Lindsay, and everybody else.
Great. I do want to add that we are able to provide assistance with transportation, childcare, clothing for work, and laptops if needed. So
Cool.
if you have some clients who need those services in order to get to MVCC or to work, we can help with that. And we can extend that support for the first couple weeks of someone's employment if they need while they're waiting for their paycheck to be able to start providing for themselves.
That's pretty cool.
And this picture is of Yawa, do you want to explain what's happening? Okay.
Yeah. So this is Wolf Speed, who came to do a panel with the participants, speak about the company and the current roles that are available. And they will also be interviewing these participants as well for jobs.
So I actually have a question. I apologize, my dog is snoring. When it comes to OPWDD individuals, and they need extra support on the job, is it doable for a job coach to assist them on the job during their apprenticeship, even though they have a mentor?
I would think so. And for a space like Wolf Speed, we haven't run into that yet. I would be a little concerned about a place like Wolf Speed, but not so much the other places that we work with, just because it's a clean room environment. So I would have to ask.
Let me kind of pose this way. My belief is that the mentor is the person at the company that is committed to the technical training on the job that the individual needs to be successful in their 2-year apprenticeship. A job coach supports me in dealing with the things that my mentor might give me direction on, or the hours that I've been assigned and I'm confused. So the mentor, while of course will get involved in some of that interpersonal things, the expectation of a coach, if I need it, is to help me and support me through that, all those moves through what I have to do. Does that help? That's the concept that I see in a coach. And so if a company doesn't have, I know I asked Fala Technologies down in the Hudson Valley has, they can't do coaching because the kinds of contracts that that business has is very secretive. It's governmental stuff that only people who can sign off with authority can be a part of things. So a coach coming and going is never going to be possible there. So obviously, I wouldn't say obviously, but we'll work to make sure then that interviews for someone that might benefit from a coach, at least initially, won't interview at a company. That's what Colleen's saying. Won't interview at a company that can't support their needs to be able to be successful, because we want everybody to be successful. So that's a long answer to, yeah, I think a coach is cool.
Yeah, I just think, everyone has their own niche in something, right? So someone could be really good at computers and someone could be really good at engineering, but just need that social aspect help on the job. They're, managing time and how to have communications or, self-advocacy, speaking up for themselves in the workplace. So that's the type, we as a job coach or an employment specialist may not have the necessary skills in that area, but are able to support them with communication, time management, and things like that.
Right. That's perfect. It makes a 3-way. And I'm sure Yawa and Lindsay are excited to hear you say those kinds of things, because that'll only increase their capacity to be successful with getting the right people connected to the jobs at the businesses.
Right. And we would also be able to provide like a liability notice as well for any of my staff. If that ever came to it, they got an apprenticeship, we would be on our side at Kelberman be able to provide a liability for our staff too.
Cool.
So Pat, in addition to Sylvia and I spoke with, Sylvia, remind me, was it Karen?
Karen, I believe her name.
Karen. Because I think there was not really an understanding of ETP, because we kind of proposed doing ETP at one of the businesses for one of the new graduates. And I think there, Karen seemed to understand, but the previous person that was spoken to did not seem to understand the program. So we are going to hopefully meet with Karen. Sylvia's going to meet with Karen sooner than later to kind of just explain to her the ETP program, just to allow them the thought that they can bring them in for a paid internship, get them used to it, and then hopefully bring them onto their payroll. So that would probably be the first one that ETP has been involved with this project. So
And And to kind of topple that, this person had already completed the Apprenticeship 2, I believe it was called. But I have reached out to Karen and I have not heard anything back. So I'm not sure if it's kind of like if they're looking into seeing if this
No,
could
I
happen or
think
anything like that.
it's related to making sure that we've got this process in place. Now that Lindsay is on, I'm thinking Colleen, right? Lindsay and Michelle and Sylvia should be chatting about how to create that relationship so it doesn't get too confusing as to pre-apprenticeship, employment and training program funded by OPWDD, apprenticeship. Let's do that. So if you ladies are comfortable with Lindsay reaching out to figure out all that you're talking about, she will be very happy to coordinate through the MACNY stuff, all that kind of thing. So I've always been a big proponent of, we don't need multiple people touching these businesses. Let's work through one process so that they're clear. Luckily, Karen is a person with a background in working with people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. She's powered by that kind of thought. So if you guys are comfortable, I would like to, Colleen, propose that Lindsay, those are the first two people I introduced Lindsay to directly, and she can learn a little bit more about employment and training programs at OPWDD and how it can be linked to all of what we're doing for these guys. What do you think?
I think so. I think it also would be helpful for us to, I know it's been done, but like have like some sort of resource map of like all of the different services and agencies that serve the individuals we're serving.
Yep, resource map on my notes. Okay.
And I think Brandy's up next.
Hello, everyone. I apologize. I am driving to another meeting during our meeting. However, our program update for Advanced to Apprenticeship, we have finalized our A2A pilot program summary paper, which is all about giving information on the A2A model, which includes those soft skills, the opportunity for technical skill development, as well as a career exploration in manufacturing. And we were able to present on a national level in DC at the beginning of November at the AUCD conference and provide a poster presentation on the background of A2A as well as cohort 1 results, which did lead to everyone, 100% of the participants in cohort 1, finding employment, whether they were incumbent workers and stayed where they were at or moved into new positions. We are still working with them to see some of them through to apprenticeship, but the fact that everyone is working was a first win for us. And on November 14th, we were able to present at a state level at the Continuing Education Association of New York, which was tons of different folks from community colleges across New York State, giving them information about A2A and all the great work that's been going on. So we're so excited that this process has started, and we are looking forward to the future growth of it all.
Thanks, Brandy. Okay, so next steps, what's happening in the spring? So the spring cohort is going to start in February 2025. We will be hosting the class on Wednesdays and Thursdays from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. Fridays will be optional for tutoring / study hall from the same time. We'll be offering job shadows, company tours, financial literacy sessions. Of course, participants will have the ability to meet with the disability resource coordinator and summer employment experience. So we're looking at targeting UCSD students for this opportunity. In the past, we've opened it up to the entire community. So it didn't, as long as you're 18 and older, you were able to attend the class. But we're really looking at doing a kind of piloting a model for seniors at Proctor High School. And then I've been speaking with Proctor High School about this, potentially opening it up to kids in the CTE classes at BOCES as well. But for now, we're really trying to concentrate on seniors at UCSD and opening it to those who have an IEP or 504 plan first to be able to apply to the program. And then if we're not able to fill the class, to open it up to everyone at UCSD who's a senior. Does someone have a question? I heard something.
I'm just excited because this is, I think, the first in our state, maybe I'm going to go out there and say in our country, to say that a manufacturing entity is reaching out directly to students who present in their career search with 504 and IEP pathways. This is pretty amazing, guys, to think that it's happening right here in good old central New York. So thank you, Colleen, and your team for taking on that with Proctor's, because I think that it'll set the stage for future stuff that can't be touched anywhere else. Kudos.
We do need your help though, because for the summer employment experience, for some of these individuals, I'm sure they will need job coaches and extra supports. And we don't have the resources to be able to provide those things in-house, and you guys are the experts of doing that. So we're really hoping to get your input and support with providing those wraparound supports during the summer employment experience, at least in terms of job coaching. You can, of course, cover transportation and all that, but that's what
There are
looking.
lots. Colleen, Lindsay, Yawa, I'm sure Michelle and everybody that we're just talking about ETP, the employment training program, and under the VR system, the information that Suzanne has presented in the past around what they call pre-employment supports. We could create some really neat ladders of weaving funding to support these kids as we go. So I'm sure they're all eager to talk to you, Lindsay and Yawa, about how to support individuals in a lot of different ways. I know I'm excited right now just thinking about how to put it all together. So, and I don't do it on a day-to-day basis like they all do. So yay, this is cool. This is really cool, guys.
And just a quick funding update. So we did apply for expansion funds through Empire State Development. It's already gone through all of the rounds of vetting, and we're in our final stage, hoping to hear in the next week whether or not we receive the funding. I do have a really good feeling about it though. So it will be exciting, and that funding would be able to provide for us to expand across the entire state. So it would, of course, be in phases, starting in Rochester and Albany, and then expanding out from there. But very exciting opportunity to bring this program statewide.
Mm-hmm. And don't fret though, we're not leaving Mohawk Valley. We have another year of funding with the Council for Developmental Disabilities to keep steady the course with this project in Mohawk Valley. And of course, there's no way MACNY wouldn't have thrown in a few dollars to make sure that everything going in the Mohawk Valley continues in the right way. So we are not asking you to step away. We need you for at least another year to serve in this advisory capacity to set the stage and help us design the things that make sense across the state.
Just want to kind of level set a bit too. So we did apply for and receive a federal grant from Apprenticeship Building America, that I believe that's Radar as well, right? Somewhere. So the same kind of grant, and we have a mandate to to create 800 different apprenticeship opportunities in the next couple of years statewide. So we really do need these two programs to act as a funnel into registered apprenticeship for our larger grant. So there are opportunities for individuals to, go into these alternative career pathways that are really like on the job training, and you're earning while you're learning. So just want to put that out there, that the jobs are there. We are creating the apprenticeships, and we do need this pipeline in order to be able to meet our goal of 800 apprentices in the next couple of years.
Your call to action is heard. And in that vein, I wanted to share with you, we've had 2 meetings so far. We've invited programs from around the state that are doing similar, but not necessarily the same, because as I know, that what happens in Utica is very different than what happens in Buffalo, than happens out east on Long Island. So we need to make sure that we're staying on top of all the different designs. So we invited organizations like MACNY, but the alliance members. I talked earlier about Fala Technologies, but there's also a program that's being housed now at Hudson Valley Community College called Uniquely Abled, and they are providing uniquely abled academies for people that are interested in manufacturing but might have some cognitive disabilities. SUNY Ulster also has a program actually that we mirrored a lot of what we do with A2A from the leadership of Barb Breer at SUNY Ulster. And then right in the Rochester area, working with SUNY, with Rochester, you said, is a program called GamTech. They are a business like Fala that is bringing folks in to work, but also started a not-for-profit in order to do their pre-apprenticeship internship opportunities for folks who are presenting with, our in the marginalized communities. I love that new term, marginalized communities. But we've invited them to meet with us quarterly, so we can tell them about what we're up to, but also learn about what they're doing. And this past meeting this week, we had a representative from the Institute for Community Inclusion from University of Massachusetts, David Hoff. Some of you may know his name. He's been a leader in policy development for supported employment on the rehab side for his entire career. And he is working with an entity out of Boston called Jobs for the Future, which is leading in a national perspective apprenticeships in general, and now using their support at ICI to make sure that information, ideas, new techniques, things that are happening in the world of supporting diverse workforces, including people with developmental disabilities and otherwise, are a part of that manufacturing workforce. So he actually has a survey that will be shortly in your inboxes after we have this meeting. If you have the time to quickly fill it out, just to give him a perspective from what you know and what you hope for. It'll feed the work that'll be ongoing over the next couple of years with the project that they're doing on a national basis, and your voice will be heard. So we will hope that you would consider taking a couple of minutes out of your busy day and just complete that survey for David. That would be awesome. Questions, thoughts, comments? Okay.
All right.
Yep, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Brandy, go ahead.
Okay, sorry, y'all. So we also are interested in hosting some teacher and support staff, especially those employment support professionals, the job coaches, on factory tours. And so we're looking for your thoughts in regards to the logistics. To offer a teacher job coach tour, we know we are competing against school schedules and everything else, but we want to know your thoughts on when do you think would be a great time of year to do that? Should we try to push in on a teacher work day, super and conference day, we call it here, or should we wait till the summer? As well as if transportation would be needed, and if your organization or someone you reached out to wanted to participate, how many people would you want to bring? So we have our contact information attached to this presentation to be able to reach back out to us and let us know your thoughts on that. If you go to the next slide, we also are doing a demographic survey. This is something that is required through the New York State Council on Developmental Disabilities. If you've been on our advisory board for a while, you've probably heard this pitch before, but I know we have some new folks, and I would love to get your anonymous demographic data as the state funders need this information to push up to the federal funders that funnel the funding into our state. And I know Lindsay is going to talk about recruiting, but because I'm being called into my next meeting, I am throwing into the chat. Later, you will see an advertisement for benefit.
I'm just trying.
Uh-oh, we lost her.
We lost you, Brandy. You went on mute.
Uh-oh.
You said,
Can you hear me now? I don't know what's
and
happening.
that was it.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So I was just giving a pre-pitch because I have to jump off for the benefits planning in the new year. It's a January webinar that'll be available for anyone who would like to attend and learn more about benefits, or if you yourself have questions. This will be a great opportunity to meet with one of the work initiative practitioners for the state level, as well as a disability resource coordinator who can provide some more regional specifics. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Brandy. I also just want to reinforce the concept of what she was just talking about in regards to inviting teachers, direct support professional, job coaches. We heard from businesses during that coalition meeting in particular saying everybody has the right ideas, but nobody has the information. There are too many. We're trying to funnel those kids, those young adults into manufacturing, but people don't even know what manufacturing jobs are. So we're trying to figure out how to add something to this next year that helps those that are talking to the future, the job seekers, the future workforce, and understanding all the different trades. I mean, I know I was pleasantly surprised when I saw that list that's in our PowerPoint today, with all the different kinds of jobs that fall under a manufacturing industry process. Honestly, how many of you can say you knew they all existed? I didn't until I actually read the list. I had a thought I had more than that, but hey, wow. So we want to make sure we are tapping the people that are our best marketers, the ones that have got boots on the ground working with the individual. So if you've got ideas, this is what Brandy is saying. Tell us the best way to do it. Do we do it virtually? Do we, like Lindsay saying, touch base with everybody, go see people? What do you think? We'd love your feedback, please. And you can do that now, or you can send it to us in an email. Okay. Lindsay's up.
Looks like she's kind of struggling with. So recruiting for spring 2025, the easiest way to refer someone to the program who you think might benefit, if you know any high school seniors. You don't have to have a disability to participate in the program, but we do want to encourage those who have disabilities who have an interest in manufacturing to apply for the program. But again, it is open to anyone. We do have a smart sheet form. It's pretty simple. You just fill out your contact information, and then either Lindsay or Yawa will reach out to the person within one business day to get the process started to enroll in the program. We will send out.
I think I'm here. If you guys can hear me, am I here? Did I make it?
Yep. No, go
So
ahead.
yeah, just to kind of rebuttal off of Colleen, I am a proud Proctor graduate. I graduated from Proctor High School in 2017. So that is our main focus, really looking to get students of all varieties who maybe aren't sure what's my next step, and really educating them and showing them all that manufacturing has to offer them. Like I said previously, I do prefer, that boots on the ground kind of model. So really looking to go out, meet people. If you have someone who you think might be interested, but they're wavering and they're not sure, please bring them my way and I will sell them about how great this program is. I am new to the team, so I'm just excited as I'm hoping that they're going to be. So I hope to bring that out to everyone.
So we just have some pictures here of the two cohorts we've graduated already. So some of you might recognize your clients or your employees, Chad, in some of the pictures, although I don't see the two brothers from last semester. But so this is Nicole Sortino on the, I guess it's my left-hand side. And with the most recent batch of graduates, we did host a salute to manufacturing. I know a lot of you attended, but for those who didn't or were not able to attend, we did have just 2 people come up on stage for the advanced to apprenticeship graduation. You know, some of the students had graduated over a year prior to, so unfortunately we didn't get the attendance that we wanted, but for those who were able to come, we did want to celebrate that they were able to graduate from the program. And then we did offer Wolfspeed an award for being the most involved employer with this program. And, you know, we hope that encourages other employers next year to hire and retain our graduates. I know we only have a couple minutes left and I want to be cognizant of everyone's time. We do have a webinar on the benefits of registered apprenticeship. That's December 12th at 1 p.m. via Zoom. We'll send the presentation out to everybody and with all the links and everything in case you did want to register. It is free to attend. And Randy, is she here? Did she have to leave?
No, she had to leave.
Okay, so the University of Rochester Strong Center for Developmental Disabilities has a benefit planning session. I think Brandy had spoken about.
Right, in January, she's going to send us that. Yep, she's going to send us that stuff, so we'll get it out to everybody as well. So if you can't do the one in December, you can catch it in January, so that's good.
She put it in the link. She put it in the link, Pat.
Oh,
I
great.
think
In the chat box.
before she gets the chat. Sorry, I'm sorry. She put the chat. The link in
Yep.
the chat.
Perfect.
Okay. In the 2 minutes we have left, does anyone have any open items or questions or concerns or anything they want to talk about?
Are you excited? Do you think that, are you surprised? Are you feeling like, oh my gosh, if anybody had told me we'd get here, I wouldn't have believed them? I always believed, but you know, I just wonder what other people think.
Hi, it's Ashley from Access VR. We actually have a counselor that goes into Proctor High School. So if you want to put Lindsay's email in the chat, I can connect her with our counselor. There might be individuals that he's working with that would be interested in the program this summer.
Ashley, awesome. Okay.
Thank you. We are meeting with the CTE team there. So Erica Schaff and Michelle Hall and Carly. I can never say her last name right, but I hope I do. Keller Reagan. To discuss the recruitment plan and everything too. So I think it would be helpful if we have that person's name to say, hey, do you mind if we pull them in as well to the conversation? Because I think that'd be really great.
I was gonna thank you for saying that, Ashley, because I was gonna jump in and mention that because with Access VR, it's definitely the timing too. If you know you want to have that information in those meetings soon because the whole referral process because they'll have to have an open VR case, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and if they already have an open access VR case, it would be important for the counselor to be involved in the conversation, especially if we're looking to coordinate services.
Perfect. Well, isn't that timing awesome? Okay.
Thank you everyone for coming. I really appreciate your time and we'll send out an invite for the next advisory meeting in the first quarter of 2025.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Macney. Woo-hoo.
Thanks, guys.